go ahead and log into our demo account that we have here. So today we're going to go over lead management, not only getting leads into the system, but also setting up calls as well as events on the calendar and tasks, and then also different reporting features that we do offer. So once logged into your Wise Agent account, obviously the first thing that our agents want to know, or our users want to know, is how do we get leads into the system? And there's actually a number of ways that you can get leads into the system. First and foremost, we want them to come in automatically, so that way there's not really a whole lot that we have to do. So we're going to start off right at the lead management page here. On this page, I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom. There are several companies that we integrate with directly, and that would be through API. And then from here, listed under the API section, there are a bunch of different companies that we integrate with so that you can get your leads to come into the system automatically. So if you take a look at this list down here at the very bottom, if you notice that you're receiving leads from any one of these companies, then you're going to want to contact our customer support so that we can provide you with the instructions to set that up. Each one of them is going to be set up a little bit differently, so go ahead and give us a call and we can get those instructions to you. Under the email leads section, these are companies that we've set up what is called email parsing. And that's where we actually capture information in an email. So what these companies do is they actually send you an email notification letting you know that you've just received a lead. And we can capture that information and add it to your Wise Agent account as a contact. Once again, each one of these are going to be set up a little bit differently, but you do have a Wise Agent email address here. So you actually take this email address and you'll enter it in a very specific place on one of these websites in order to get those leads to come in automatically. Once again, we do have instructions on where that would be exactly in these companies' websites. Up here at the top, once you have leads coming into the system automatically, you can actually set up what we call rules for leads. And this is where you get to tell the system what happens to the lead when it gets added. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this add button here. And it's going to open up what we call the add rule window. So from here, we can select what source we're receiving our leads from. So it could be any one of these sources. And then you can say, I want all leads coming from this specific source to be added to a very specific drip campaign that you've already perhaps set up in the system. And then you can also say that you want them to be added to your call list for a scheduled phone call. And then you can even add them to a specific category. So a category is a way of breaking up your database. So maybe you have a category such as like a holiday category, such as Christmas cards, or maybe you have a newsletter category. Maybe you don't quite know if they're a buyer or a seller, but you could still place them into perhaps your newsletter category so that they begin receiving your monthly newsletter. Another option that you have is that you can set up an automated response so that as soon as the lead fills out the form and submits it to you, not only do they get added to your Wise Agent account, but now you're sending out your very first email that's going to reach them. And perhaps it's just letting them know that you've got their information and that you will be in contact with them soon. So this can be pretty helpful because you want to be the first person to kind of contact that lead. One of the integrations that we currently have is with BombBomb. So if you're not familiar with BombBomb, what they do is they allow you to send video emails. Part of the integration that we have allows you to set up a video auto response for leads coming in automatically. So from here, if you have a BombBomb account, you can link it up to Wise Agent, and on the email auto response, it allows you to add a video auto response. So now your leads can actually see you directly in front of them. And this is super beneficial because now they can not only, now they can see your face speaking to them. They can get a feel for you and your personality. And you can even enter a note in here down at the bottom. You're able to add type. We also have text message response. So this is actually in addition to your Wise Agent account. If you wanted to set it up, you would first need to purchase an SMS number, we call it, to text from. This is going to be $5, and it's a recurring charge. So you would purchase that number, and then it would be linked to your mobile number. From here, you can actually send out text messages. In order to send a text message from website, it does cost you a single credit, we call it, So you do need to purchase credits, and we can go over credit pricing as well. It's really only a couple cents. It just depends on how many you purchase at a single time. We do put a canned message in here. However, you're welcome to change this message as well. Now, texting is a lot faster than sending out an email because not everyone is checking their emails, and not everybody opens all the emails that they receive. However, everybody's always on their phone. So you're always going to know or see that you have a message and check it on your phone. So it's the fastest way to reach your leads. So if you want to set that up, we can definitely go over that at the end if you had any questions. Another tool that you can set up here is a notification. So this would be either an email or a text message that's sent to you or one of your team members letting you know that you've just received a lead from this source. And then if you're working within a team, we also give you the ability to distribute the leads based on certain filters. So you can set up a filter to distribute the leads to one of your team members, whether they are an inside team member or an outside team member, based on one of these filters. So we have day of the week, zip code, and then price range. You can use any one of these or even a combination of these. So the way that it works is day of the week it comes up at the highest, so it trumps everything else. And then you have zip code and then price range. And then you can select which team member that you want the lead to be assigned to down here. So we're going to go ahead and close out of this. Now, another cool tool that we have is that we've given you the ability to track different activities and things like that in the system. So we're going to kind of touch on that. So up here on the top right of the screen, you have some icons. These icons will, this one right here will allow you to see what you actually have going on for this day. So you can get an easy look of what's going on in the system today, whether it's on the calendar, the call list, or even the task list. This one right here, however, the pie chart icon actually allows you to track various activities in the system so you can see what you've been completing and done in the system, as well as your team members that you're working with or sharing an account with. So that would be like an inside team member. You can track emails. You can view a report of the emails that you sent out, as well as a delivery report, and then even an open report. So you can see how many times those leads have actually opened your email. Obviously, if they've opened it a lot, you're going to want to reach out to them as soon as possible. You can track different marketing campaigns that you've had. You can track leads by source. So where did the lead actually come from? Whether it's a good lead, a bad lead, if you've been marking that off in the system. And even leads by team members, so you can see which leads are assigned to who in the system. So these are just some different types of reports that you can take a look at and get reports on in the system for not only yourself but also your team members. We also give you the ability to easily access our blog site here, as well as link other blog sites to the system. And then if you have an outside team member, which is someone else who has a Wise Agent account, you can link them up to yours and become what's called an outside team member. So that way you can share certain things from one account to another. If you are receiving or even sending leads, calendar events, marketing programs, or even templates for transactions, you can see that here. So you'll be able to see what's been sent to you and what you're sending out, and you can accept them. So that way they can be added to your account as well. I'm going to come back over here to our home page, and we're going to touch on the different tools that we offer here on this home page. So we do have a call list, and this is going to be for your scheduled phone calls. So you can view your master call list just by clicking on the call list button there. And you're going to get a list of all the calls that you have scheduled. Now you can filter it by past due, today, as well as your future calls. And you'll notice that you have all the contacts information or all the leads information here. You can even see if it's been assigned to a team member. From here on the right-hand side, when you're ready to place a phone call, all you have to do is click on the phone icon, and you're going to get a pop-up with all the leads information, including the spouse's information, as well as where they came from, so what source. Once you're placing the phone call, we also give you a box here that you can take notes in, and then if I scroll down a little bit more, you can view past notes, and this can be really helpful when you're placing that call so you have an idea of what it was that you're perhaps working on with them before or what you've most recently done with them. Down here at the bottom for tracking purposes, I do recommend that you check this complete call box, and you can even schedule a follow-up phone call or even email, and you can set an alert to remind you, and this alert can go to either your email or to your phone as a text message. If I continue to scroll down, you'll notice you can assign the call to a team member, and you can even enter in a call type. A call type is going to be a way to categorize your phone calls. So when you first start off with an account, you actually don't have any listed here, so you get to create your own. You get to create your own categories for call types, and there's going to be a field right here to enter in a new call type. So you can just enter that in and click the plus button if you wanted to add a new one. Clicking the add button will not only close out this window, but it will note the contact notes for this specific contact. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of there. I'm going to come back to this home page here, and we're going to just go over the calendar a little bit. So here on the calendar, you can choose to have birthdays, anniversaries, home sale dates appear on this calendar. So you can see here that we do have those listed, and that way when you have one of these occasions that comes up, you can either give these contacts either a phone call or maybe you want to shoot them an email. So anniversaries are going to be indicated with a ring icon. If you have a home sale anniversary, that's going to be indicated with a house icon with a dollar sign. And then if you have a birthday, it's going to have like this birthday cake icon over here. If you have an active transaction or a pending sale, the critical dates for those transactions will also appear on the calendar, and they're always going to be listed in red. So you can see we have an inspection due date on the 11th as well as an expiration date on June 3rd. If you have a marketing program running in the background, you can also choose to have that be visible on this calendar so you can see that as soon as you log in that you have a program set to go out that day. You can see that that's going to be this green one here that's by our 3 of 8, 4 of 8, 5 of 8, and so on. So it's an email program that we've created set to go out once every 7 days. If you wanted to create an event, all you have to do is click on the actual day, enter in the details of the event. You can even assign it to one of your team members or even attach a contact from your database. And this is pretty cool because now once you save this, it's actually going to document this in the contact notes. Also, if you have perhaps a meeting that you have to be at and you need documents to take with you, you can upload those files directly here, and that way everything's all in one location. When you choose to save the event, down here at the bottom, it'll also give you the option to send an invitation to the guests that you've attached. So by clicking this yes button, it's actually going to shoot this contact an email so that they can be able to put that on their calendar. Down here below, this is going to be our task list that you have here. So it's going to be all the things that you have to do, whether it's something you entered in manually or a task that's actually pulling from a checklist that you've created. Now, the tasks here on this list are going to be separate than events that are listed here on the calendar. So you can have tasks not only that you enter in manually, but that also pull from the checklist itself. And they are going to be color-coded, so you can easily visually see that something's either past due today, or due sometime in the future. When you check a task off, it will also strike it out. If it's a task that's associated to a checklist, then you'll not only see the checklist name here, but when you check it off, it will date stamp when the task was completed on that checklist. To add a task, all you have to do is click this add button, and you can enter in the details of the task here, assign it to a team member, schedule the due date, place an estimated time on it, or even a priority level on it. The system will also allow you to attach it to one of the contacts in your database or even set an alert to remind you, which can be sent to your email or even as a text message. So that's going to be the task list. We're going to come over here and take a look at what a contact actually looks like. So over here under the Contacts tab, this is going to be a list of all of our contacts. And you can order it by first name, last name, company, zip code. We have it ordered by date added. This allows us to easily see what leads are the most recent in our system. You can also filter it by category, which is a way to organizing your database, by source, and this is going to be where they actually came from. So let's take a look at a contact in the database. So I'm just going to do a search here, and then I hit the Go button. I'm going to click on their name, and it's going to pull up what we call their summary page. So here in the summary page, this is going to be all the information that you have in regards to this contact. You can see the source. This is where we got the lead. All the categories that we have this contact in. So you can have one contact in more than one category. And you'll notice that we have them in several different categories listed here. If I scroll down below, you have several different fields to keep track of a bunch of different information. So not only can you do company, title, email, things like that, you can do things such as website, birthdays, anniversaries, home sale dates. Underneath the primary contacts information, you can also rank the client A through F. So obviously, if it's a really good client, they bring you a lot of business or even a lot of referrals that you might consider to be an A client. You can put a status on them. So now you can track at what point you're at with them. Below here, we do have action icons. So if you wanted to shoot them an email, send them a text message if you have them have it set up in the system. If you have their website entered in here, you can easily just access their website by clicking on this button here. You can schedule an event on the calendar, add a task, or even schedule a call on the call list directly from this page. Now, if you have BombBomb and you've linked your BombBomb account up with Wise Agent, then you will have this icon here where you can actually easily just submit or send them a BombBomb video. Down below here, we do have extra details, and this is going to be any other personal information that you have for this client. If I continue to scroll down, this is going to be their mailing address that we have here. Wise Agent also has an integration with Cloud CMA. So with Cloud CMA, if you're not familiar with them, they do allow you to send home valuation reports. So the integration that we have with Cloud CMA will allow you to generate a report for their address here, and it will actually be emailed out to the email address that you have saved for the client up here. If I continue to scroll down below, you'll notice that you can also keep track of important dates. So this is where you can enter in those home sale dates, anniversaries, birthdays, things like that. You can also keep track of children and pets, as well as any other extra information. So here you can add additional phone numbers, email addresses, websites. You can keep track of family relationships, as well as other addresses, so property addresses perhaps that you might enter in here. Down here at the very bottom, you do have several tabs that go from left to right. So we're going to go over these. So the Conversations tab. Wise Agent has an integration with Google, allowing you to be able to view your Gmail conversations. So if you enter in, or if you log into your Gmail account here, then you'll be able to view all the conversations that you've had with this individual, or excuse me, with the email address that you have with the email address that's saved up here at the top. So whether this email address is entered in the to or the from field, you'll be able to see those conversations down here at the bottom. And then from here, you can easily save those to the contact notes. These tabs here will allow you to view any scheduled calls, any scheduled events on the calendar, any tasks that you have coming up scheduled for this person. If they're on any marketing programs that you've set up in the system. This one here is going to be the notes. This is going to be all the contact notes. So anytime you've contacted them through Wise Agent. So whether you've sent them an email out through Wise Agent, made a call from the call list, entered an event on the calendar, task on that task list on the home page, or even entered in a note manually. Those are all going to be recorded here, so you'll have a date stamp as to when you've completed all of these things. This tab here is going to allow you to link it up to their Twitter. So if they have a Twitter, you can view their most recent tweet. This is a great tool to kind of help you either break the ice or maybe even have something to kind of talk about with them when you make that phone call. This feature here is actually really cool. So this is the enhancement feature, and I did want to go over this a little bit more in detail. So in Wise Agent, we've built this tool so that you can be able to do what we call enhance a contact. So if you have a contact in the system and say you don't have very much information on them, you can click this button and it will actually do a search for any social media sites registered with the email address that you have saved. It is a feature that does cost, so when you first start out, you'll notice it'll tell you how many credits you have here, and everyone will start off with 100 credits for free. Once you're out of those credits, obviously you won't be able to do enhance a contact, but you can choose to purchase more. So if I were to click on this button, we do have pricing. The more that you purchase at a single time, the cost per credit actually goes down, and it's really only a couple cents. This is a great tool. This is a huge tool for agents, because sometimes what can happen is a lead might not fill out all the information on a form. So we're going to go over that just a little bit more. I'm going to come back over here to the leads page because I want to show you how valuable this tool can really be for you. So what you can do when we've set up what we call email parsing, what this allows you to do is to capture information from an email, right? So when a lead fills out a form and they say they submit that first part of the form and they give you their email address, and then they get to that second part of the form, but they don't decide to fill it out, and in fact they leave. So all you have is an email address that actually came through. So I'm actually going to take this. We're going to imagine that this right here, I'm going to take this address here. We're going to imagine that my email here is an actual form. So I'm going to take this email address. This is your Wise Agent email address. This is unique to you. And say this is a lead that we have, and they filled out that first part of the form. So this is all the information that I have on them. I don't know their name. I don't know anything else about them. They submitted this email to me, but then they didn't finish the second part of the form. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. So we're just going to imagine that was a lead who filled out just the email address and sent it over to me. Well, that email gets submitted to me. So here they are. So we didn't originally have their name, but the contact got enhanced. So the system will enhance automatically contacts that come into the system automatically. So we actually got this person's name. So I'm going to go ahead and click on their name to view their summary page. And now you can see we have a photo for them. Not only that, but you can see we have a company name for them. So we've got all this extra information on this person just from enhancing the contact. So the system searched the internet for anything linked to that email address. So now we can actually reach out to this person, and we have a little bit more information for them. Down here at the very bottom, it's actually going to give me links to all those social media sites. So now I can do a little bit more research. Now, just because I don't have their number and I didn't originally have their name doesn't mean that I still can't market to them. Now I know who they are. So that's why this is going to be such a valuable tool for you. So you do start off with 100 free credits. If you need to purchase more after that, you can actually do that just by clicking on this button here. A couple other tabs you have here, we'll touch on those. If they have a blog site, you can link up their blog site to Wise Agent so you can view their most recent blog. You can also keep track of who referred who in the system. You can, if you have any active transactions or pending sales going on, you'll be able to view those checklists that you've created on this tab. And then if you wanted to track any search criteria for them, so say they're looking for very specific things in a new home, you can track that all here. And then you do get unlimited document storage with Wise Agent. So that's going to be the lead management tools that we do provide you. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. All right, so I did open it up for questions, so now you guys can, we can all hear each other now, so if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and we can answer those now.
Hi, this is Andrew. I sent a couple of questions about linking to Gmail and then other emails. So I said, link to Gmail with, will all those tasks and emails also be copied to Gmail? So if I send out an email through WiseAgent and logged into Gmail, would I be able to see the sent and received emails within Gmail? In other words, will it be copied? And then the second question I had was basically the same thing, only what about other email clients such as Yahoo or MRIS or AOL?
Okay, so the integration that we have with Gmail only allows you to view what's in your Gmail inbox. So it'll allow you to view emails that with that person's email address, whether their email address is in the to or the from field. So if you've created tasks, because you can do that in Gmail, those don't come into WiseAgent at this time. Let's see, what else did your question say? So if I sent out an email through WiseAgent and logged into Gmail, I would also be able to see the sent and received emails within Gmail. Yes, you would. So you can send emails out through WiseAgent. They would come from your email address. Those would be copied to the contact notes of a contact in WiseAgent. But because it's going to that person, actually that first initial email is actually not going to, because that one's going through our servers. Now, if that person was to reply to you, that's going to go back to your Gmail inbox. Then you'll be able to see that reply. And from there, you can copy that into the contact notes. So you're already going to have a copy of the initial one sent through WiseAgent, and if they reply to that, to your Gmail, you'll be able to view that and then copy that to the contact note.
Got it. And does that happen when you're using another email account as well, like Yahoo? Is it the same thing?
No, but what you can do is you can actually set up your Gmail account to view the inbox of your Yahoo or your AOL or any other email inbox. So as long as you can view it in Gmail, then you'll be able to view it in that Conversations tab in WiseAgent. So if you have another account with another provider, then you can set that up to be viewed in your Gmail account and then see it. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Do you guys have any other questions?
Yeah, this is Teddy. I'd like to follow up on Andrew's Gmail question.
Yeah.
So, since it's, you're able to save Gmails within WiseAgent, are you also able to delete emails within? So let's say I want to set this up and test it out. Like it, I have in Gmail stored on the system outside Gmail. Is it possible to delete everything or delete individual emails?
Not within WiseAgent, because in WiseAgent we're only viewing what's in Gmail. So we're only looking at those conversations. It's a view only. So if you were to delete it on Google's end, then it would no longer appear under the Conversations tab in WiseAgent.
Oh, I thought you said you can save them.
You can choose to save them. So when you have your Gmail set up to be viewed in WiseAgent, we don't have one here, but I can actually show you where it would be. Down here at the bottom, when you set up to view the Gmail conversations, you're going to get a list of all those conversations here. To the right, on the right-hand side, there's going to be a box that you can click on, and that will push it over to these contact notes that you have over here on this tab. Then it will be saved, and it will be saved here under the contact notes.
And you can delete any of those individually, right?
These ones, yes, you can delete these over here on the right-hand side. All you would have to do is click the delete button.
Okay.
Yeah, so on this tab, on the Conversations tab, it's view only. If you push any over to onto the contact notes, it'll be saved here. The notes here you can delete if you need.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can only link your WiseAgent account up to one Gmail for conversations. So you're not going to be able to link it up to multiple people's in a single account. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
I do have another one.
Yeah.
WiseAgent seems to only have the ability to record if you sent a cloud CMA. What about any other type of CMA? If you've done manual or anything else, is there a way to record that so it's viewed on the important dates?
Viewed on the important dates. What do you mean by by that specifically?
Take your cursor and move it just slowly to the lower right.
Here?
Yeah. See, it only says Cloud CMA sent. Is there a way, because these are obviously, important dates in the client contact.
Yeah, the important dates here, the ones that actually appear on your calendar are just going to be like your home sale dates, your anniversaries, and your birthdays. This will give you when you sent the most recent Cloud CMA report, because we do have that integration with Cloud CMA. You have to be sending it from within WiseAgent, and it's the only company that we integrate with at this time to be able to generate and send those reports. So it will be recorded down here in the contact notes as well. If you're sending through another company, there's not a way. This is not an editable field. This field right here is automatically input when we send from here. So you're not going to be able to edit this date. But if you did send from another company, you can manually add a note.
Right, gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions? No more questions?
Well, thanks so much, Ellie. Sorry I had to leave the computer temporarily in the beginning. Had to deal with.
Oh, no, that's fine.